100% recommend it. We're in Shanghai at a former steel factory turned greenhouse, and I love plants, so I'm very excited. And also it's raining today, so I'm very happy to be inside. We've entered just before a massive tour group behind us that's coming in, so we're just gonna try to get as forward as we can. Chaos, the origin of life. So we're here on a Sunday and we did buy our tickets online on the mini app, but walking in I saw that you can also just buy a ticket with a QR code. On our booking we did have to pick a time, so we picked the 9 to 11 a.m. time because we were thinking that it would be a little bit less busy. We jumped through the desert part first so that we could be in the cloud forest, and there are people, but it's not crazy. It's certainly less busy than it was when we were in the Singaporean cloud forest. Whoa, is this a water park or is that child just playing in the water? There's a little dolphin spitting water out of a rock. And then these people have actually brought toys to play in the water. So ticket-wise, if you come on the weekends, the ticket is 128, and if you come on the weekdays, the ticket is 98 renminbi. But you keep in mind that this park is not open on Mondays. I remember when we went to the desert in Egypt that they had seashells in their sand. And the desert is the first place that the ocean would have dried up. I like that they show that here. We're doing the first section last because we jumped through this section earlier thinking it would be quieter in the other sections. It's nice to see it now. Look at how prickly it is. Now we're heading into the cloud forest, which apparently has 4 kinds of forests, including a fog forest and the underwater forest, a staghorn forest. We're trying to meet up with a friend, and it turns out that we actually came in the wrong way. So we're gonna walk back towards the entrance because there's a tunnel over here. And look, there is a girl in the rocks above the tunnels. It's raining today, and you can see it on the roof. So this is the base of the fake man-made tree. Zone 2 is the cloud forest, and it's the highlight. Tropical rainforest plants, a mist zone, dramatic height. This is my personal favorite zone of the garden. If you only have limited time or energy, beeline to the cloud forest to spend your time there. This one is the jungle streamside window, which is supposed to be where water and forest meet in a valley. So it's a lot smaller species of fish, but very pretty. Must have taken this from somewhere where it was already grown and developed like this if this garden is pretty new. Look at her, look at this. There's these weird floating rocks up high, like the rocks from Avatar. These are definitely fake. I do feel they keep you separate from the plants, and I don't know if that's just because of how they designed this park or because of how local Chinese tourists are. Otherwise, I just feel like the plants would not be as nice as they are. Considering this is a pretty new garden, I am impressed by the size of some of these plants. So we think that because this is a relatively new garden, that in time, that the plants will grow all the way up this structure. And that would make it really pretty. I feel like compared to the Singapore cloud forest, the plants here are just a lot more manicured. Like they're planned, but they don't look wild. Sort of neat is that a lot of the plants have QR codes and you can scan them and it'll tell you more facts about the plant. So if you are interested in a specific plant, you could find its little QR code and then scan it. It brings up like a website for me with a picture of the plant, the Latin name for the plant, and then a little bit of information like what kind of environment this plant thrives in, but it's clearly all the same environment. This park looks really beautiful. There's such a pretty bridge over there. We're about to leave, but before we do, we have to visit the gift shop on site. I honestly thought that big, flat, dead, pinned butterflies were more expensive than they are. So it's a relatively reasonably priced gift shop, in my opinion. Like, look at this. You can get a flower, and it looks like it's inside resin, and this is 16. I might buy it. This is pretty cute. I definitely saw something like this at Gardens by the Bay, but for more. Overall, I like the garden. I think it's Shanghai's version of Gardens by the Bay. Definitely worth a visit. We ate at the restaurant Brut, also pretty good. I don't know if I would come again. And if I did, I think I would come in the afternoon because you can see the daylight and then see the nighttime lights, which we're gonna miss today, but still definitely worth it if you come here. Well, I wouldn't say it's like a botanical garden. It's much more like a greenhouse that you can play and explore in. And it's attempting to be like Shanghai's version of the cloud forest and Gardens by the Bay in Singapore. The price is a little bit high, I think, for attractions in China and Shanghai specifically, but it was still relatively busy. There was a lot of people exploring today, a ton of people here taking pictures, and it is just like a nice, perfect thing to do on a rainy day. I think if it wasn't raining, we would have ventured out. It looks like there's a waterfall, there's a bridge, there's a bunch more in this park area, which is massive. So if you're taking a car here and you want to only come here, you need to make sure you're taking a car to the right place on the map, but otherwise, I would come again.